Right, 8 September 2025, and today I'm excited to be giving you yet another evening update. And today I've decided to start with some breaking news. So what has happened is that today we've had a big day in which everything has been about Holy 10, and most of you did not realize what is going on. But we are facing the beginning of a transition. So many people in Zimbabwe are starting to challenge the Mnangagwa family. And today, 2 people have challenged the Mnangagwa family since morning. And most of you have not noticed, but the Mnangagwa family is not invincible. They are not all powerful. They are panicking. And the days of Mnangagwa are coming to an end. So I want to start with what has happened to the Holy 10. Holy 10 is a young musician. I think he's called Mukudze Chatsama, if I'm not mistaken. And yesterday he spoke out and he lashed out against the twins, that is Collins and Sean. So among these two, Collins and Sean, the most nicest of these two guys is Sean. Sean is a very nice guy, very humble. If you have never met Sean, or if you have never talked to Sean, you will never understand. So Sean is an army guy, and he tends to be very easy to deal with. However, Collins is another guy. Collins is ruthless. So Collins runs the media arm of the Mnangagwa family. He runs all their communications. He runs anything to do with creating connections. So if you see Collins, he runs the side of the family that has to do with black ops. So what you call black ops, that is Collins Mnangagwa. And as I said, Sean is rarely a guy that would do anything to harm anybody. I've always told people that Sean is a nicer guy than Collins. Emerson Jr., on the other hand, very rare, you won't see him a lot. And Kuda is the pride of Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa likes Kuda a lot. He sees him as the person who's going to take over after him. So he is entrusted with most of the business-related stuff in the Mnangagwa family. The biggest problem with Collins is because of the kind of work that he does. He has to interact with a lot of people. So he has to directly interact with people, and that means men and women. And that is why I always say to you, and I'm always mocking Collins here on a daily basis. Kakomana kafupi fupi, kanudama bebe akareba makeda. So this young man, Collins, he is the one that does all the things that you see when Auxilia is communicating. He's there. When you're online and people are commenting funny, that's Collins. That is Collins Mnangagwa. In this particular case, the two who are twins are entangled with the young man here, Holy 10. Holy 10 is a very strange person. He is a celebrity. He's supposed to be staying away from social media, but he comes every so often and he connects with people like a blogger on a daily basis. And therefore, the two, Collins and Holy 10, connected, and then they did what we call the Last Supper. You remember before the elections, there was something called the Last Supper, where almost every musician or anyone who has got to do with publicity went onto the side of Mnangagwa, including people like Passion Jawa. They were behind all that. So they ran an intelligence operation where they try to find out what is wrong with an artist, what do they need, and then they help that artist to bring them towards Mnangagwa. So today, this has all gone wrong. And that is because young Holy 10 here feels that something wrong has been done to him. He has been mistreated by the Mnangagwa family. And he has gone on to do that rant that I showed you in the morning. But that is not all. It seems as if Collins has also been dating the young man's wife. So not only dating her, but also impregnating her. So this is what has been said and it's been circulated widely here. You saw Maynard, he has given that story over there. And Maynard here said it's Sean who's got the child with the wife of Holy Ten. But I don't think it is Sean. I actually think it's Collins. So people tend to confuse this situation. And I believe that it's Collins who has the baby with the wife. So that is my belief. I don't know. That's what I believe, but a lot of people are confused. However, one of these two guys have got a child with the Holy Ten. So Holy Ten's wife, Holy Ten has got a number of wives. According to himself, last week, he came out and said he's going to have Barika or a number of wives. So his wife, his current wife, Mukeda, she was obviously dating quite a number of prominent guys, including one of those prominent gold dealers that we showed you in the past. She's got a video with other youngsters in the hip-hop industries. And therefore, it is not unexpected that she would have passed through the hands of one of the twins. These guys are what we call rezas, mareza. When they see a girl, she's going to be I don't know. So that is the background of the story. That Holy Ten, knowing very well that his wife has got a history, accepted it and married her. So if you marry a woman and she's got a history, you have accepted it, you do not care. Same to Junior, who married a woman who's got a video. We know the Mnangagwa guys, they don't care. So one of them is married to a girl who we also in public, and she's got a video with another guy. So they don't care. And to these people, it's not a big deal. If you like a woman, you marry her, you don't care who else has been with her. That's part of her history. However, the big problem that has arisen today is not only the baby. There is something bigger that has taken place behind the scenes. And it has been widely reported that Holy Ten has been seen with HIV test kits today. So today he has been seen carrying some HIV test kits. And this is going to go further. So it's not going to go to end here. We're going to hear more about this story. What has happened to those HIV test kits? And this is nothing. I'm not saying it's a big deal. If you are dating hundreds of women, obviously, you're going to need to use HIV test kits and you're going to have to accept the outcome or the result. So that is a certainty. So that is just the background of this story. These guys are entangled and people who know say it's because one has impregnated the wife of the other one has then said, I will support you and the wife and the child. And it was a secret until now. Something else has happened behind the scenes and the fight has broken out into the public. And we still have one more thing left, which is to say, what was the results of the HIV test kit? So you know what happens when you go for an HIV test, you have to go for counseling. If you don't go for counseling, you go crazy because you start feeling things are ending, but they're not really ending. So this story is developing, and let's see the next move that is going to be made by Holy Ten. So it's very important for us. Holy Ten is the most streamed artist in Zimbabwe. So of all the artists in Zimbabwe, male and female, there is no artist who is more streamed than Holy Ten, including Ja Preza, whoever. You put all the artists together, Holy Ten is the biggest, most streamed artist on Spotify, YouTube, all those platforms. On a weekly basis, I follow those charts. So he's the most streamed artist over in Zimbabwe. Now, let's go to the threat. So, this evening, a threat has been issued, and this is by Collins Mnangagwa. So, the threat came out on the platforms which are owned by Mnangagwa, and it goes as follows. The first family is a pillar of our nation, not a topic of malicious gossip and threat. The recent attempts by Holy Ten to tarnish the reputation of Engineer Collins Mnangagwa and Major Sean Mnangagwa are a blatant attack that every pillar of that very pillar. It is now obvious that Holy Ten is being used as a pawn by enemies of progress and stability to store discord and tarnish the image of the presidential twins. This manipulation is transparent and will not be tolerated. This is a direct warning to Holy Ten. Cease and desist immediately. Do not allow yourself to be used as a tool to attack our nation's leadership. Your inflammatory rhetoric has serious consequences. We stand united in support of the Mnangagwa family and against any forces seeking to destabilize our peace. So you can clearly see that this is bigger than just a tweet or an Instagram live. This is bigger. And to me, you will see that the Mnangagwa family, their plan is simple. They want to have a dynasty. So after Mnangagwa, Kuda comes. After Kuda, Kuda is protected by a whole bunch of people with Sean in the army and so forth. But at the moment, it's unraveling. So it's unraveling and it's not going to happen. This family is not going to become a dynasty. As soon as Mnangagwa is gone, the youngsters are going to mismanage everything. It's going to collapse and they're going to fail. They are not able to keep this thing up that Mnangagwa has been doing. They cannot do what their father is doing. Their father is dating multiple women, but you have never heard, except for Susan, you have never heard anybody coming out and making such a big racket as what has happened. So these youngsters are going to mismanage everything. Temba Mliswa told the father to bring these boys into order, but he didn't listen. There's been multiple relationship failures. So they go and have a relationship with somebody, they mess it up, and they mistreat people. And people don't forget when you mistreat them. So if you want to go into power, you have to have a lot of friends everywhere. And unfortunately, the youngsters don't understand that if you want to do well, you must not make enemies, unnecessary enemies. So Holy Ten might look like an unnecessary enemy or a weak enemy, but he's actually not a weak enemy. Because every time someone goes up against the Mnangagwa family, they lose their fake sense of invincibility. They are no longer invincible. Someone has attacked them, and you see that they can arrest Holy Ten, but they won't do anything to him. They no longer have the power. Mnangagwa only has 3 years to go before he leaves. If Mnangagwa messes up in these 3 years, he's going to end up in jail or in exile. If Mnangagwa does something now, like abusing human rights or killing people or whatever, this is going to be the worst moment for him. He's only has 2 years. That is 2026 and 2027. And it's short. So he has to be very careful what he does. And you're going to see the action that they're going to take here. The young man has done nothing. So his rent is not against the president. And he is warning. So you can see the warnings that he gave here. I've been working so hard to clean ED's image, and people just think can touch me. So these are not like things against the president. It's madness, but it's not something you can arrest someone for. And therefore, the Mnangagwa family, the next move they make here, they have to be very careful, and particularly when they use soldiers. So you can't just take soldiers and say, let's go and beat up someone, or let's go and evict someone. You can't do that because that is abusing the army. You can't do that. You can't. So they might just have to take it a little bit easy with their plans because Holy Ten has done nothing. And I also believe that Holy Ten by himself has probably left the country and is probably living somewhere. He was having a show in South Africa at Kempton Park over the weekend, and I believe that he's not going to go back to Zimbabwe anyway. However, in summary, the twins and the other children, so Emerson, Uyu, Huda, this whole crew, their love for light-skinned women is going to be the end of the Mnangagwa family. They can't control themselves. When they see a tall, light-skinned woman, they go crazy. It doesn't matter if someone's wife, they will just go. And that is the end of this family. They will be ended by tall, light-skinned women. Kakomana kafupi fupi. Kanoda vakadzi vakareba. That is how they're going to end. So let's see what happens. But I believe that Holy 10 has got a surprise. That is why he was holding those HIV test results. And let's see what he does in public. And also let's see the outcome of this threat. This was posted less than an hour ago. So you can go check it out on ZANU-PF 2024. This is a platform that is run by Collins Mnangagwa. Collins Mnangagwa is in charge of all the communications of the Mnangagwa family. But their biggest problems is two: failure to treat people with respect, and secondly, the love of tall, light-skinned women. That is their biggest problem. They've created so many enemies because they don't understand that when people want to help them, people come closer. Like Holy 10 did. It cost him a lot to be closer to the Mnangagwas. And then you just say, oh, I gave you a car, I'm going to take it. I gave you a house, I'm going to take it. That is bad because someone has lost their life. And you are going to that same person. And this is not only this one person. You saw Anna Jonasi here, crazy as hell, met at Collins. Many people out there are unhappy with the Mnangagwa family because the youngsters don't know how to manage relationships. They think people can be used and discarded, and people don't like it. So if you see the Mnangagwa family ending, it will start with the boys. They do not understand how to treat other people with respect. And also, they don't know how to make friends and avoid making enemies. That is the problem. Now, that is the first person that has clashed with the Mnangagwa family. Let's go to the second person that has clashed with the Mnangagwa family. So, today we've got the Munumutapa saga that is taking place. So, this coming next weekend, on the 15th, Mnangagwa will be celebrating his birthday. So, Gambakwe's birthday is on the 14th. Mnangagwa's birthday is on the 15th. The Malawi election is on the 16th. So, there is a King Munumutapa in Zimbabwe. And today, he has asked Mnangagwa not to make 15 September Munumutapa Day. So, he has made that announcement today. And this is one person that was discarded. It was used and discarded by Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa used this man to create chiefs and install them, and also to change the constitution of Zimbabwe. So they were attempting to change the constitution of Zimbabwe, and they used this man, and was going around the country and installing chiefs, removing chiefs, and then they discarded him and threw him into jail. So they threw him into jail for some time. And now he has been recognized outside of Zimbabwe because they gave him some documents, some court orders. And today he has said Mnangagwa must not make 15 September Munumutapa Day. So let's see what happens. He has made that announcement. He has also made the announcement that Mnangagwa is now the prime minister and not the president. So these are the crazy things that Mnangagwa sets up as he attempts to go to 2030. So remember, the plan started long back to go to 2030, and it's failing. People are clashing with them in public. This press conference was held in Harare today, and nothing has happened to this man. As he said, Mnangagwa must not make that day Munumutapa Day. So you got two people today who clashed with Mnangagwa, and nothing has happened to any of them. So, what is my point? My point is that Mnangagwa is not invincible. His plans are going to fail. And as we move closer and closer to the end of his term, it's going to become, you're going to see more people coming out. And it will not just be a rant on Instagram. Some of the things that are going to happen are going to be in person. Okay, I think we've covered everything. Now let's quickly go to our program. So I want to quickly go to our program. M31 is currently raising funds. We are on the verge of making some interesting deals. But what we were obviously communicating to everyone is that the 2028 elections, that is where everything is going to happen. So don't think something else will happen in between. Maybe it will happen. But the elections is the next most important event. Don't look to any other events. Let's wait for the election and let's be strong. Let's be organized. So we're currently trying to raise an amount of $1 million US, and to all the MPs, councillors and senators in our groups, and to all the people that we've invited. That is currently what we're busy with, trying to raise that amount so that we can launch a proper campaign, we can be visible on the ground. So we've been approaching a number of people, and if you see my people coming to you and saying, let's talk, accept their call, and let's work together. We need a new country. We can't work under Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa aka broker. Mnangagwa aka broker. Mnangagwa will never do anything for us. And we need a new leader. We need a new president. And the Gambakwe 2028 campaign is currently the most strongest and the best alternative which is there right now. And this is going to go international. We're going to do very, very well. And they're going to have a President Gambakwe very, very soon. That is within the next 3 years. When we go to 2028, you have a strong and firm manifesto based on 8 pillars. So our 8 pillars, as you can see them there, $1,500 tax-free for every person. We won't charge tax. 160 new towns across Zimbabwe, high-speed rail, only 8 ministries, peace and unity and respect in our country, a military planned city, homecoming all our people back by 2030, every Zimbabwean back home, and a tourism-based economy. So we're going to make sure that every person gets a house in one of those 160 new towns. So that is where we are. And I would like to thank all of you for your support. As I said, support us, WhatsApp us. We cannot become a new government without money. So we want to do this. What Mnangagwa is doing, and his people and his kids and his 100,000 relatives in government, that is over. We need a new approach, and everything is going to go very, very well within the next 3 years. So that is what I wanted to say today, and let us recap. We said today, Collins Mnangagwa, about an hour ago, has warned only 10, and he has said that if he does not stop what he's doing or continues or producing anything new, then something bad is going to happen to him. And then, as I said, the real deal is that Holy Ten's wife is rumored, not only rumored, but it's written down to be having a child with one of the twins. And we said that the love of tall, light-skinned women is going to be the end of the Mnangagwa dynasty. And the mistreatment of people, disrespecting people, and just not understanding how it is important to maintain good relations with everybody. That is very important, but they don't get it. And they've created so many enemies. People who used to love the Mnangagwa twins, they are now sworn enemies because of the way that they treat people. They just dump people, use and dump people. And Holy 10 is the latest in a long chain of people that have been used by the Mnangagwa family. Now let's go to the comments. Right, Ango Ulitan says, "You're rubbish, Yako, tired of stupid analysis." Yes, yes, Ulitandi, you are tired. Go and drink sewage. Wena usebenzela Mnangagwa. Yes, usebenzela Mnangagwa eplazini lakhe. Trababalas interchange. Akabroka, Mnangagwa akabroka. Oxile akabroka. Sean akabroka. Emerson Jr. akabroka. Kuda akabroka. Ndiani kazana kakomana. Collins kakomana kafupi fupi. kanoda mabhebhe akareba mazokaona kanasi. And then my rule, who control the funds? Very important question. So you see me today, I'm telling you about funds. I am telling you in public. Have you ever seen a political party in Zimbabwe telling you about funds? Do you think they go to elections with no funds? So for the first time, you are going to have a party which shows you financial statements on the website. So as soon as you collect our 1 million, you'll be able to see every cent, how it is used. Let me tell you how I live. I've got no luxury car. My house is a little house like this, very tiny. And my car is a battered 1988 Toyota Etios. My kids, they go to government school. I wear basic stuff. So I will never, and I've never taken anyone's money. You're going to see that money used for travel. We want to travel all over the world and meet every Zimbabwean, register our people for homecoming. You're going to see us campaigning around Zimbabwe. You're going to see us having an office in Harare, Bulawayo. You're going to see us having an office in Victoria Falls. For the first time, a political party will have an office in Victoria Falls. You're going to see us branding our cars. And also, we've got a whole budget, and the letter has been given to our MPs, senators, and councillors. So the point that I'm trying to make is that we've got a big manifesto, and you can't have that big manifesto without support. And we're going to go to everyone. So there are people now who are approaching that you will not even think we're approaching. We are humble in the sense that our country is not going to be a country of one party. So there will still be ZANU-PF after the elections, but they will lose. So it will be 75% loss. But let it be clear, 160 new towns, it's going to change everything. Not these 32 towns that Chamisa has got, or those 20 towns that Mnangagwa has got. We're going to have a lot. And we need a new political culture. That is a culture of giving. Our government must be strong, and you don't want Gambakwe to be bought. So the fact that I can come here every day is because I'm not bought. If I'm bought, you won't see me here. I'll be too tired. I'll go and wash my fortuna outside, like certain young men that used to be very active. When they gave them a fortuna, they lost all their interest in politics. So all that energy that they had finished. Money makes people lazy. When people have got a lot of money, they become lazy. If you want to make someone lazy, let's say your child, give them everything. You already saw what happened today. If you give your child everything, they become lazy. So sometimes you pretend as if you don't have enough. That is what we are. We are people that are hungry, and the love that I have got, especially for my brothers in the civil service, guys in the army, guys in police, guys in prison service, intelligence. When I see you, my brothers with nothing, most of you will retire and go to the village and fight to be Sabuk over there. When I see you and I know what is possible, what we can do for you. Soldiers, I want you guys to run security companies. I want you guys to have houses. I want your children to do well. I want you to go and get scholarships overseas. And we will create those relationships. Mnangagwa, it's not that he's not able, but he doesn't want anyone else to have money. So Mnangagwa doesn't want anyone else to have money. That is the problem. And our government is going to be a government of love. We're going to give you houses. We're going to make you travel for free on our trains. We're going to bring back our farmers. The farmers that were chased by Mnangagwa and his group. We're going to bring them home, give them loans, fix their houses. The government is capable of doing it. And we're going to make our country a pride. When you walk into Zimbabwe, you're going to feel like you're back in one of the most developed countries. And that is what we want to do. We don't want this thing of people just struggling. When you see our people, when I walk into Zimbabwe, there is a smell of poverty. People, when you meet someone, they have been humbled by poverty. They've been battered by poverty. We don't want that. We want that to stop. And we want to be present for our people. So, one of the things we're going to do is to go and get everyone from every country. UK, we're going to go and get all our people. 160 towns, we have 160 hospitals. We're going to put you in those hospitals. We're going to manage those hospitals. We're going to give you ownership in those hospitals. We'll build towns and malls, and we'll give the local communities ownership in those towns. And everyone is going to have enough. We're going to build a ring around our country where there'll be so much technology for military. They won't have to walk around at night patrolling a bush. As I speak right now, there's a soldier who's watching me on a cell phone patrolling a bush where there's nothing. Like you're just walking around. Mnangagwa. That is guerrilla mentality. Want that to stop. And our country is going to do well. We're going to become a pride among other nations. Not what Mnangagwa is doing. Like a broker. Okay. I would like to thank all of you for watching. And we'll bring this to an end now. Let's see if there's anything else I need to cover. Who cares about the car? Who will control the money? We know you from housing prices want a committee to control funds. I don't know. I always laugh with poor people. If you say to them, I give your brother 1 million, and then you let him know, do whatever he needs to do to make it successful, they will fight so much. Before you even give them the money, you end up not giving them the money. That is the problem with our people liking to fight. Billions and billions. What I'm describing here is a first world country. We are going to give you a house. You, the one who is commenting, there's nothing stopping you from getting a house in Zimbabwe. There's nothing, because the government can go to a funder, they can go to a foreign government, they can go anywhere and build a town, but they'll never do it. In South Africa, the government gives 50,000 rands to every person who earns below a certain amount to buy a house. Did you know that? It's called an RDP program. In Zimbabwe, if the government gives you something, it will be a miracle. The government of Zimbabwe gives nothing. In South Africa, they give every child a grant so that they eat every child. In Zimbabwe, that never happens. In countries like UK, education is free. One of the biggest countries in the economies, healthcare is free. You don't pay. So I'm not saying we're creating a socialist economy. I'm just saying to you, our focus will be on these things. $1,500, we don't want anyone who takes home less than 1,500. We don't want anyone without a 3-bedroom house. And our civil servants will not pay on the trains. You are going to be able to jump in a train and go to your home within 2 hours. We want to connect every place less than 2 hours. And our tourism is going to boom. You guys are going to have so many businesses. That is what we want to do. We don't want all these things that's of struggling and struggling and struggling. That is over. And that has to end. So I would like to thank all of you for watching. And I know that our army guys, they are loving what we're talking about. It's a promise that we're going to keep. And as I said, it starts with us having a presence on the ground. And that requires us to raise funds. So if you are someone who is in control of funds, and my people have already written you a letter, or I've already WhatsApped you, don't look away and think, come on now. Let's try this and see what happens. Because we need a change in our country. All right. I would like to thank all the guys who are on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Thank you very much, and a good evening to you. And then the guys on TikTok are going to stay behind while I wrap up. So let's see what happens tomorrow. If Holy 10 is going to release the HIV results, which we are all expecting. So Holy 10, I know you're watching. Show us the HIV results that we were brandishing yesterday or this morning. I know already some people have shown theirs. So you show us yours because who takes out that and then keeps quiet? Thank you very much for watching. guys on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And a good night to you all.